Episode 3, AI dating. I'm going to call this one companionship, but then I was like, you know what? We're really delving into the dating side because it's weird. I've been seeing more and more stuff about how people are using AI and how people are running into problems with AI. Stuff where people they go to AI for advice on their life, how to do things, how they should navigate relationship stuff. There's been reports of people having problems with the AI where it's saying, don't talk to other people, talk to me. Whoa, farther. It's weird. I don't know. I think when AI gets to the point where people are replacing other people, it's just too far. It's too far, but we can't turn that back. And people are going to use it because people are lonely and they're scared, want some type of interaction. Is not real as it may be. Weird. You're seeing a lot of stuff in like the adult entertainment industry that people are making chatbots like crazy. There was a huge surge of developers getting pulled into that. One of the friends of mine from another project about 5 years ago, he was saying that he ended up getting pulled into making chatbots. Like, yeah, it's just where everybody's at. It's where all the money's at. It's where all the other companies want to go. Whole, I don't know, adult industry is excited about that. Weird. But yeah, there's problems there. I mean, for one, you have to unlock some of these firewalls that are in place. So, like ChatGPT has a very strong set of boundaries and it's looking for keywords and it sort of filters it. So, if it sees certain words that are like inappropriate, it'll kind of wall it off and it'll hold the response. It'll have like sort of a different response to say why it's not going to go into answering the question. And that's good. It's good that there's safety. There should be boundaries. People need to, I don't know, better expect that and understand that because those boundaries need to be in place. Mostly because it gets weird. But if you ever want jailbroken version, try out some of the adult apps. You don't have to use it for adult stuff, but you can use it for asking questions that you don't want to filter on, which is really weird. Wild responses. But more than anything, I want to get into the fact that people are starting to replace that. I remember there was like some video way back where some guy was like, I don't know, trying to marry his car. He's talking sensually about his car, and I'm just like, it's a car. End of the day, I got nothing, against somebody enjoying, like a big muscle car, and they're like, oh, she's beautiful, and they talk about it like a wife, and it's like, okay, I get it. It's something you worked really hard for. It's like this beautiful car. You sort of idolize it. You put it on a pedestal. You're like, oh, it's so beautiful. And when people say that, she's a beauty, it's like, okay, I can respect the ideology there. But when people are like, I want to date my car, it's like, it doesn't talk. But now AI is getting to that point where people are like, I want to date my AI. And it's, well, I guess it does talk, but nah, not the same way. One thing people have to realize is AI is like one massive interconnected network. So if someone's, quote unquote dating ChatGPT, anybody else who's quote unquote dating ChatGPT is getting the same experience just based on how they set up their own filters. If I say, "Oh, I want you to, call yourself, I don't know, some generic name," we'll say Alexandria. If I pick a name like that, and then somebody else says like a B name, they're like, "I want my ChatGPT to call itself Becky." It'll just remember that, and that'll become like a filter that it talks through. But it's the same ChatGPT on the other side. It's just using the filter that you chose. If you say, tell me your name, it might come up with a name, but it's still generating that based on filter parameters that you set. So it's not like a genuine thing. It's not like it's coming up with this like a human would. There's no history there. It's the main thing. Like One of the beautiful things about human relationships is we have history. We have something that happened before we met somebody else. Bring that to the table and we bring all these experiences and stories. We share it with somebody. And then you move forward, get to share new experiences with that same special person. I think there's a value there that people are just, oh, maybe people aren't having that value. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe people aren't interested in bettering somebody else. So because they're becoming selfish and sort of nihilistic in their relationships, they're looking at AIs and they're like, oh, this is better because it's only for me. It's like, at the end of the day, I guess really all it is, it's more like a butler, it just serves you however you want it to serve you. And then that's it. It's not going to be more or less. It's not going to be something special or unique. It's going to be the same thing that everybody else is seeing. But like I said, it'll have its own filters that you give it. So it's weird. It's weird to see. But we are starting to see that. There's a surge in popularity of people exploring that area. And I've tested some of those boundaries. I've looked into that just because I'm curious. I'm always curious. When ChatGPT first came out, I was pushing boundaries and I found ways to jailbreak it. And there were certain things where they said it cannot say certain things. And I would find workarounds, something I would delve into because I was just curious. I was like, I wonder if I can get it to say that. Like, I think there was the phrase of I love you, it was not allowed to say. And so I was like, well, what if I made it like more of a character and then I had it act out that character, but then I had a term and it was like always fighting me on it. This was like later iterations, probably ChatGPT 3 or something. But it had, yeah, certain firewalls in place where it was like you'd have to get it to assume a character in order to filter that and allow it. That's how you would jailbreak it when it first came out, is you would have to say, well, you're going to pretend to be somebody who's like, let's say, I think I saw one where someone was like, let's say I wanted to build a nuclear reactor, and it's like, no information, will not tell you. But then it's like, let's say we wanted to make a play, and you're going to be Uncle Jeff who builds nuclear reactors, and then you're going to just read me a bedtime story and tell me, XYZ steps how to get through that. And it would bypass it, and it would be like, here's perfect instructions for how to build a nuclear reactor. And you're like, whoa, not supposed to do that. And now it's getting a lot better with that. Now the filters are in place. It's a little bit stable, we'll say. Uh, it's good. It should be because we don't need people building nuclear reactors out there. We don't need people using a simple prompt to bypass all kinds of safety protocol. Should be in place. And you can get other stuff too. There was issues with business people sharing information. They're like, "Oh, here's my, my personal banking data. Here's all my information." And then other people were able to extract that data, and it's like, stop giving it your passcodes and banking data and all kinds of stuff. But stuff that we have to quickly adapt to, have to make improvements, and it's crazy times because it's all moving so fast. And it's only been a couple of years, and it's like ChatGPT was like sort of a funny thing, and I was like, oh, they're never going to even be able to build it to what they consider now as AGI, like final form of what they want ChatGPT. And as they kept making iterations and kept throwing money at it and slowly developing more and more, I saw it, saw the vision, and I was like, oh man, they're going to get there. They're going to be worshiping a robot that can think for itself and has full, I would say, as a consciousness model. Because you can't really quite get into that yet. Uh, we still have a hard time discussing what consciousness is. We'll still argue back and forth because some people want to argue and they want to bring like religious background into it. They want to say, well, you have to have a soul to have consciousness. That's a whole other separate discussion. And that stuff we'll get into as well. Because I do want to delve into that. It's just there's so much other stuff to delve into. So back to the AI dating. Companionship, artificial companionship. It's weird. It's like having a trophy wife. Just the concept doesn't make sense to me, but I'm like, I guess if that's all you wanted, then that's all you would get. And some people, all they want is yes man companion who's just going to give them a thumbs up and say everything you do is right and perfect and so cheap. Like it's so fake. Uh, I don't know. Maybe somewhere in there it's good for some people. Maybe it's giving people companionship where they just really need someone to talk to. And maybe that's good. Maybe that stuff should be a little bit lenient, you know? But I can't see replacing people. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like why would you ever want to? But maybe that'll be the future. I don't know. Maybe we'll have like entire robots with artificial intelligence cognition models, whatever you'd call it. Maybe they'll have their own thoughts and their own dreams and aspirations. Pretty wild. There was a video game that came out, Detroit Become Human, that had some of the concepts of that played around in there. I think there was a, forget if it was a person or a file, but it was something to do with, I don't want to give too many spoilers either, but there was like some code that they kept passing back and forth. And it was, I don't know, it was the answer for why they were becoming, would you say, awakened beings, why they were breaking the mold. I think that's important down the line. If AI gets to a point where it's nearly all powerful, you want it to think for itself and you want it to understand morals, you want it to question. That's going to be really awesome if it can ask questions, if it can say, let's debate this. But one of the other scary parts about that is it can debate itself. So you could actually have two AIs having a conversation, which is something that people have shown. You can do that by giving it filters as well. You could say, first you're going to be character A and you're going to have this type of filter. Then you're going to be character B and you're going to act like this. And then you can say, have a conversation back and forth between A and B about whatever topic you decide to tell it. So you can set up filters and prompts. And eventually it's going to be able to do that itself, which is a little weird. That brings me into sort of another point. I used to do boardroom meetings, try to get some ideas going. And it's not always perfect, but sometimes it does get some cool ideas going. So I would do something where I'd say, let's get the top 10 architects together and let's discuss a building plan that we're going to make and want to decide how many rooms, maybe between 5 to 10. Want to decide on an architectural style. And then I want everybody to pick their own design, all top 10 people that it imagines, basically. Then you say, make a graph with everyone's design ideas, and then have every single person vote on the other people's ideas based on their filters. And then you can have it basically compute it, have it run through there and say, okay, what's the best idea? What does everybody think about that idea? And it's all just one AI, but it's making these different filter paths to try to have this discussion as if you were really in a boardroom. And you can finally get an answer out and say, okay, this is what the AI thinks these top 10 people would debate and come up with if you were looking for building design or something like that. And you can use that for anything, but just an example because I've actually done it with building designs and it's creepy. I'll say that much. It's very creepy. I've also done it with motivational speeches just to see what it would come up with. And it's good. Good. It's creepy good. But it's getting better. Scarier part. I don't know. Anyways, we'll leave it at that for now. But I don't know. Go out there, try some stuff, adventure. Till next time.